Newspaper Review, Friday, 17th of July 2015. Very first, we'll see Ceylon Today. The photograph of JVP leader Anurakkumar Dissanayake is appeared with the red color t-shirt. He says JVP goes to HRCSL over MR's privilege. The Janata Vimukti Peramuna will today seek the immediate intervention from Human Rights Commission of Sri Lanka to order a cessation of privileges afforded to former President Mahinda Rajapaksa for the duration of the general election campaign. The JVP noted that Rajapaksa was seeking election to Parliament as an ordinary member of Parliament, but was nevertheless enjoying a large amount of privileges accorded to him by the state in his capacity as a former president. When a question regarding the privileges was raised in Parliament, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said Rajapaksa was currently receiving benefit in excesses of those stipulated in the President Entitlement Act No. 4 of 1986. The JVP observed this would thus constitute a violation of the human rights of the other contesting candidate. He called for these to be curtailed or stopped during the election period, the JVP said. Next headline, protest against Maitri's speech. 3 deputy ministers resign. Sudarsani Fernando Pulle, Lasantha Alagiyawanna, Eric Weerawardena. Deputy ministers Dr. Sudarsani Fernando Pulle, Lasantha Alagiyawanna and Eric Weerawardena relinquished their portfolios yesterday morning. Speaking at a media briefing, they said the reason for their resignation was a disgrace and damage caused by President Maithripala Sirisena special announcement last Tuesday. Fernando Pulle, who was the Deputy Minister of Higher Education, stated that by declaring in public that he would remain neutral at the general election and hinting that the UPFA would lose the forthcoming polls, President Sirisena had seriously harmed the election campaign of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, led United People's Freedom Alliance. He added that they had submitted their letters to resignation to the President. Alagiyawanna added that after the decision taken by the SLFP and the Central Committee of the UPFA, we shouldered the responsibilities that were thrust upon through those deputy ministers' posts. Now we have decided to free ourselves from those responsibilities in order to assist our colleagues in the upcoming election. We cannot be satisfied with the announcement made by President Sirisena after giving nomination to former President Rajapaksa as a leader of the SLFP and UPFA. Next headline, Ranil promises mega deal. The 5-fold economic master plan of United National Party will be launched next week, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said yesterday, addressing a meeting in Katanaha, that the development plan would ensure the economic development, freedom, elimination of the corruption, at great future and infrastructure development. Next headline, NDDC chairman gets death threat. Chairman of the National Dangerous Drugs Control Authority, Dr. Nilanga Samarasinghe, claimed that he received death threats after revealing information about politicians and government officers involved in the drug trade. Next headline, SLFP leadership, Maitri can't be removed. Rajitha. Cabinet spokesman Rajitha Senaratne said at the media briefing yesterday that there wasn't any possibilities of removing President Maithripala Sirisena from the leadership of the SLFP, as has been mentioned by some MPs. The party's constitution specifically states that only the party leader has the power to convene a central committee meeting, which takes important decisions in the party. They can't try, but the party constitution makes it impossible for them to remove a party leader. Constitutions are drawn up such a way that it preempts coup attempts such as these. Only the president can convene a central committee meeting, Senaratne said. SLFP General Secretary Anura Priyadarsana Yapa attempted to convene a special SLP Central Committee meeting on Wednesday after President Sirisena addressed the nation stating that he will not make former President Mahinda Rajapaksa the Prime Minister. It is learned that the Central Committee was to be convened to remove Sirisena from the SLFP leadership as well as to revoke the membership of the number of MPs who joined the UNP last Sunday. SLFP's Prasanna Solangarachi filed plain in the Colombo High Court against this, and the A Court issued an order against convening a Central Working Committee meeting without the permission of head of the party. The cabinet spokesman also criticized the United People's Freedom Alliance General Secretary Sushil Premajayantha, who told the media that it's not the president who decides on who's the appointed as the Prime Minister. He said it's the MPs who decide on the choice of the Prime Minister, does not know what the constitution says. If leader of the UPF are ignorant of such a basic things, I fear for the future of the party, he said. One more headline in Ceylon Today, using state vehicles, PMs MPs must pay 1 lakh rupees. Cabinet spokesman Rajitha Senaratne said yesterday that henceforth the Prime Minister, Cabinet Ministers, State Minister, Deputy Ministers and others of compatible rank who have been allocated official vehicles will be charged a specific fee if they use the vehicles for election activities. That's the headlines of Ceylon Today newspaper. We'll next move to Daily Mirror. EC says can't reduce MR security. Election Commissioner Mahinda Desapriya yesterday ruled out the legal possibility for him to reduce the security and other privileges assigned to Mahinda Rajapaksa as the former president, despite him being a candidate at the upcoming polls contesting from the Kurunagala district under the UPFA. Addressing a news conference, Mr. Desapriya made this remark in response to the UNP candidate and Minister Akilat Viraj Kariyavasam, who complained about the possible abuse of such privileges by Mr. Rajapaksa in the run-up to the election as a rival candidate. I respect the right of Mr. Kariyavasam Athavan to bring this to my notice. I hope the personnel assigning the security details of that particular candidate will do their duty without involving in election propaganda. If there is involvement in any election-related activity, it can be looked into. Otherwise, I cannot order the reduction of the privileges guaranteed to any candidate by the law because of the positions they hold, he said. He said that Cabinet Minister, the Deputy and State Minister, the Speaker and the members of the Constitutional Council were entitled to certain benefits such as security under certain legal provisions, and he could not dispute them as per the law. Yet the Elections Commissioner said he took steps to withdraw security provided to former MP contesting this election under an agreement struck with the political party leaders at a meeting. He said it was done to ensure the level of playing field for all candidates, bearing those entitled to such rights under the law. I have to be equal to all in my dealing as an election commissioner. Next headline, enjoining order on COP report. The Colombo District Court yesterday issued an enjoining order preventing the publication or circulation of the draft report of the subcommittee appointed by the Committee on Public Enterprises to look into the controversial Treasury bond issue until July 23rd. Next headline, an Emirates flight from Dubai to Sydney was diverted to the Bandaranaike International Airport on Wednesday evening due to a medical emergency on board, the airline said. Next headline, SC to hear case on abuse of AGuma funds. The Supreme Court yesterday refixed for support on July 29 the petition complaining the funds of the AGuma community-based banks are being used for provide loans and favor of political allies of Housing and Samruddhi Minister Sajid Premadas and UNP members. Next we move to Daily News. Scope report on CB bond issue state. Can't publish when House dissolved. Petitioner DEW misuses powers. Colombo District Court yesterday issued an interim injunction preventing the publication or the circulation of the COP report on the central bank bond issue till July 23rd. This follows a petition filed by Deputy Minister and Attorney at Law Sujiva Senasinghe yesterday. The petition stated that it's illegal for the chairman of COP to publish or circulate the COP report on the central bank bond issue at the time when Parliament has been dissolved. Sujiva Senasinghe, speaking to the media after the enjoining order was issued, said former parliamentarian D.W. Gunasekara had misused his power as a former chairman of COP. If he so desired, he could come to court and express his view on this issue. Speaking on the bond issue, Sujiva Senasinghe said although there was no legal problem about this issuing of central bank bond to a son-in-law of the bank chairman, it involved a moral problem. Next headline, no presidential privileges for MR as MP. If former President Mahinda Rajapaksa comes as a parliamentarian, he may lose all his privileges as a president of this country, said Cabinet spokesman and Health and Indigenous Minister Dr. Rajitha Senaratne. Addressing the weekly Cabinet media briefing at the Government Information Department yesterday, Minister Senaratne said that after a president retires, his title as president will not change, but once he becomes MP, he will automatically lose it, he said. Responding to a question by a journalist regarding the possibility of giving a cabinet portfolio to Rajapaksa, Minister Senaratne said he did not think that Rajapaksa will accept the cabinet minister post as he will have to serve the president, prime minister and other above him. Next headline, CBK to join good governance front next week. Former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga is likely to align herself with the United National Front for Good Governance next week. Kurunagala, who left for the UK after the UPFA decided to give nomination to former President Mahinda Rajapaksa, is expected to return to the country after July 19, a private secretary P. Dissanayake told the Daily News. Following her return, Kumaratunga is likely to extend her support to the United National Front for Good Governance campaign. She will mainly focus on the Gampa district where Minister Arjuna Ranatunga is a candidate. She will also play a role in the overall campaign on the party, a spokesperson from the Good Governance Front said. Next headline, election candidates get numbers. All candidates contesting the upcoming election from the all district except Batikalo have been issued numbers by the election secretariat as of yesterday. According to Election Commissioner Mahinda Deshapriya, for recognized political parties, namely the United People Freedom Alliance, United National Party, Janata Vimukti Peramuna and Peratugami Samajwadi Party are contesting for all districts. The commissioner said that the candidates holding the post of Minister Deputy and the State Minister in the 7th Parliament have been ensured some privileges. Only cabinet ministers are entitled to such privileges at the future election, he said. Addressing a press conference at the election secretariat yesterday, the election commissioner added that the election commission is bound to treat over 6,000 candidates contesting the upcoming election equally. That's headlines of today's newspapers. We'll meet tomorrow with more headlines. Until then, log on with Athavan News.